Sky High Josh in the house.
MMA Marks! Buddy! DJ! Let's go! Welcome to the show! Welcome to the show! MMA Marks in the building! Buddy and DJ! Buddy and DJ! Welcome to the show! Welcome to the show! Welcome to the show! Welcome to the show! MMA Marks in the building! Feel the way! Feel the way! Welcome to the show! Welcome to the show! Let's go! Yeah, welcome to the cage, welcome to the noise. Buddy on the mic, TJ with the boys. Brain in the heart, we don't need a choice. We stand on the takes, we live with the void. No safe bets, no ducking the smoke. We call it how it is, every word we smoke. From the prelim wars to the title. Oh, we don't write tricks, we break your skull. Hands up high when the beat hit heavy. Crowd get loud.
Rampage in the house, coming in clutch on the YouTube and the Twitch. Appreciate you. I got that multi-stream up since you put me on.
We decide inside, then we stand on it, no place to hide. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. MMA Marks in the building, Buddy and TJ. Buddy and TJ. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. MMA Marks in the building. Feel the way. Feel the way. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Let's go. Yeah, Buddy bring the fire. TJ bring the facts. One read the numbers, one feel the impact. If it's real in the case, it is real in the chat. No filter, no polish, we snap where we at. Hero or ass, what we call that clean. Somebody loves somebody obscene. That's how it go when the fight fancy. No fake debate on adrenaline. Every card, every round, every swing. We locked in tight when the sirens ring. MMA Marks in the whole place sing. This ain't a show, this a finite thing. Buddy! Buddy! TJ! TJ! MMA! My Marks! Buddy! TJ! MMA! My Marks! Welcome to the show! Welcome to the show! MMA Marks in the building, Buddy and TJ! Buddy and TJ! Welcome to the show! Welcome to the show! Welcome to
How do you like that picture behind you? Is that okay?
the show!
Or do you think I should take it off? Alright, I wanted to set it up better, but we were kind of doing it last minute on that. And my mic's coming through.
Sometimes it's hard.
Forgot.
Either way,
I mean, we're pretty much ready.
we
But
stand on it.
should we get started now? Yeah, I think so, maybe. I'll mute you. I get my notes up real quick before I forget them. Ooh.
Welcome to the show. MMA Marks in the building. Feel the way. Feel the way. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Let's go. MMA Marks Podcast. Buddy. TJ.
And we are live, everybody. Welcome to the MMA Marks Podcast. We got myself, the MMA Mark from 7 years ago, man. You know, I started this thing with my cousin, Ricky. He no longer with us. So we got our new residential motherfucker that I get to pick on. Also known as TJ Saunders MMA. He's been in this game for hella long. Just a little update in case anybody forgot who the fuck we are. We're about to tell you all about UFC Mexico City. We can't believe they're down in Mexico City. They got fucking balls, man. Dana White's pocket. The cartel must be in Dana White's pocket if they're going to stay off of it. I also wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe even some sort of like weird attack or weird fucking thing that goes down because of them doing this and such. And in case you're not aware of what I'm talking about, Mexico is going fucking nuts because they done killed one of the leaders of the cartel, and they've been killing off motherfuckers. It's been actually really crazy. What do you think about this card and what's
Yup.
coming up? Are you think it's something we need to be worried about and shit?
I mean, the
TJ?
threat will be there for sure. The threat's gonna be there. I mean, they're not in the same city. It is a while, like a way away, but at the same time, it's happening in the country, so it's scary enough. When it comes to the actual fight card, I have some pretty strong opinions about it, but we'll get into that a little bit later. I don't. Yeah, it's
Yeah, well,
2 weeks straight where it's underperforming, and I'm getting tired of it.
yeah, like so. Just to kind of touch on what to kind of rebuttal what you were saying was it's not in the same city, but like many gangs and one of the biggest organized gang ever is the cartel. They have many
Mm-hmm.
many divisions or whatever you want to call that, and I'm sure that they got hella people out in fucking Mexico City, bro. You know what I mean? The Mexico City of Mexico. It's got to be one of the bigger cities. Um,
Yeah.
And really, to be honest, it's kind of like how we talk about with the mafia or the mob in when they're fighting in the East Coast or whatever. It's like probably mob ties when it seems like setup fights and stuff like that. And talk more boxing and old school fights, but you get it could be the similar because it seems like there's so many setup
Yeah.
fights. Like everybody on Tapology and probably everywhere else, but Tapology is my main source these days. Everybody's in agreement on who's supposed to win. We're all picking the same fighters for the most part. So, like
Mm.
for guys that like underdogs, this might not be your card, bro. I mean, if it might be your card. Maybe everybody that we don't expect to win is gonna win, but I think it's gonna be mostly the results that are expected. Personally, I don't foresee many
Yeah.
underdog coming out there. One thing to note though is sometimes these and probably better for the Mexican fighters. Sometimes the Mexican city elevation is just very hard to deal with some of these guys.
Yeah.
You got fucking Cain Velasquez coming back. Not really. What did they call him? What was the cardio Cain when he isn't in elevation or something? Wasn't it
Oh,
that
I have
wasn't
no
that the
clue.
meme? You don't remember that back in the day? Like it was
No,
Cain
no.
Velasquez, and then there was cardio Cain or whatever, or high elevation Cain or something, where he could outlast motherfuckers. But that we might even see some of that, yo. But yeah, overall the card is kind of cookie cutter. Who's supposed to win tonight? But we'll go over all that in a little bit. We like to start out with headlines, and he said, "Yeah, Mexico City gassed against Verdun." Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like so, Kane in elevation was always kind of a little bit iffy. Not, I knew the meme, I just couldn't remember exact details. But we'd like to start out with headlines, and one of the biggest headlines for me, speaking of like kind of the OG days or just old school days of the UFC, we got our boy Zabit. He's getting back into the combat sports scene. I mean, he's starting off with just a grappling promotion. What was it called again? Shit, I don't forgot. It was one that I'm not really too familiar with, but he's supposed to be fighting. He supposedly signed a deal with this grappling jujitsu competition, and with him, he retired the UFC at number 3 in the world, um, and it was supposedly because of his illnesses and stuff. He couldn't stay healthy, so maybe he's feeling healthy again. Maybe he's coming back. What do you think? You think Zabit's gonna make his way back to the MMA scene?
Really freaking hope he does. I'm hoping he is just using this as kind of like a stepping stone back into the fighting scene, even if it's not with the UFC. Dude, this guy would do wonders in karate combat. Honestly, yeah, I was gonna say BKFC, but I don't think he'd be. I don't know. I'd rather see him in karate combat back in the UFC. I would like when he was around. I only caught the last few fights of his, and they were fucking fun. So it'd be nice to see him back.
Yeah, Zabit was super fun, and what you may not realize if you don't really remember the heyday is yes, his striking had a lot of dynamicness to it, but the grappling is where he excelled. I remember he got that I forget what they called it, but basically I I'm trying to remember exactly how it was. I think Aljo was on his back or something, and then homie just grabs his leg into like this crazy leg fucking thing and taps Aljo. It might have been Aljo. He had a calf slicer type deal, but he did it in like such a crazy way. It's not many that might have been against the guy named Killer B. I can't remember his name, Brandon something or don't matter. This is old school fucking fights years ago now. But Zabit really excelled in the grappling. I mean, like I said, his striking was awesome, but like grappling, that's why him going in jiu-jitsu makes more sense than like karate combat for me. But I still think he would do well in karate combat. Did you see?
Yeah.
Speaking of karate combat, just to derail it a little bit, did you see any videos with Wing C and fucking Walter dancing and shit?
I did
Walter
not.
Walker and fucking
That
Wing C was like it looked like a dance studio, but they had this music playing and they were like doing this thing where they're like moving their leg and shit together. And it looked like Walter was like, "Bitch, you ain't doing the dance right," but Wing C was just being the ADD kid he is. He reminds me of everybody in middle like that one kid in middle school. The whole school universally fucking hates and picks on. They're always like, "Yo,
yeah.
that
Yep.
he
Yep.
don't." First of all, he don't shower properly just based on the way he looks. He just annoyed the fuck out of everybody. It's like fuck Wing C, but at the same time, I fucking root for him heavy. But I get the criticism of why people hate him. You got any good headlines before I can get into a bunch, but what you got for us, homie?
Um. Well, for those who may not know, I have a couple. Main one is Dana's gonna be going live at some point. Rumor is he's dropping the whole White House card. So, or at least the big fights on the White House card. That's just rumored right now, but he is going live at some point.
Mm-hmm.
They also announced Alexander Usyk is going to have a boxing match like at the pyramids in Egypt, which will be the first of its kind of event. So that'll be pretty fun. And then we got Elimination Chamber tomorrow, dude. Kind of not swept under the radar, but not as many people are talking about it after the Rumble. Should be good though. It's going to set up Mania pretty well, I think. Hopefully,
Yeah.
they need some help over there, dude.
All right. So you said 3 headlines. I'm trying to keep up with you. But the one. So let's start with Dana White. That's
The first one, whatever.
Yeah.
We can skip that.
Well, no, the first one's great. Dana White. Is that the first one, or am I out of order?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Dana White announcing
That's the first one.
The card. Okay, chat. You can get involved in this one before the announcements happen. What's going to be the main event? What do you think? Truly, not just like what do you really think is going to end up being a main event before it happens? Before Dana announces it, you have one? Or are you trying to think?
With all the rumblings, dude, I think it's very possible we do get that Jones versus Pereira. I've been a guy saying it's not going to happen, but all day I've been seeing that from not credible like Ariel or like that Marcel guy. Excuse me, but from credible people who like, I've had rumors right in the past saying that's
Yeah.
what we're getting. And I think that it makes sense. John Jones is the best fighter in the world. He's American. They're going to want the best American fighter on the card. I know John has said some shit in the past about he needs hip replacement surgery and this and that, but he's also said if the money comes, he's willing to take it. The money's got to be right. And I think a fight like that in front of the president, in front of the world at that point, I think that's what we're going to get.
Yeah. And as a mark of pro wrestling, starting out as pro wrestling and stuff, I got to say that everything that we see in media is fake in my eyes. The Jones leak of him needing a hip replacement was fucking strategic. It was trying to make people say, "Oh, Pereira might have a chance." Do you understand? Like that's why there's so many things that I believe. There's so many factors that make me believe that's going to be the main event as well. The main factor that is pushing that fight is the fact that Chimaev is Russian and he can't fight in the White House card. And Chimaev has already been told he's not going to get the Pereira fight at light heavyweight. He can't move up yet. He has to defend. So that leaves Pereira and Jones as the biggest names. Everybody always said, not everybody, but a lot of you guys when we talk, when we discuss in Discord and stuff, you guys say like, "Oh yeah, Dana said Jones ain't getting no fucking White House card," and I'm like, "Yeah, right. He's the biggest fucking name. He gave the fucking the president dance, fucking President Trump. He danced like him after he won his one fight. He's in,
Mm-hmm.
bro. I guarantee. Who's everybody universally says in anybody that knows anything about fighting, they'll say Jones is the baddest man on the planet. And then even the guys that say like, oh, steroids, this and that, they still agree that he still can beat these motherfuckers. But Pereira, man, he's chasing fucking legacy. Definitely he'll be better. He'll trump anything that fucking Jones ever did if he beats Jones this weekend. I mean, if he beats Jones at the White House card. Rampage saying, especially if Jones means what he said before about the money and legacy being worth it. If they're paying Ben 15 mil. Yeah, and Jones was already making hella money before people made hella money. Jones has been, even though Jones is vocal about wanting more, he's still one of the highest paid motherfuckers and pay-per-view points and everything else for good reason. But, yeah, I agree. I think that's probably likely. I wouldn't mind seeing Conor versus Gaethje. Conor versus the winner between Max and Oliveira would be fucking tight for the BMF. Or hold on. Who currently technically holds the lineage BMF title? Is it Gaethje?
No, it's Max. Max beat Gaethje.
Okay. So yeah, it's probably gonna be a BMF title fight. That's why Gaethje's out. Unless somehow they can make it to where it's Gaethje versus fucking Conor for the actual title, but I think they know that would piss off a lot of those purist fans. Like, this is a sport, not entertainment.
100%.
So that's why they got to do the entertainment fight.
I could even see them if we take Conor out of the equation, like just assume that he's not in it. I could see them running back Justin versus Max again at the White House too, because that was a great fight and it ended in the last possible second. We got 5 rounds of pure entertainment.
Well, Max versus Oliveira is happening before then, so that really determines if either one, like both of them, could be too hurt to make a White House card. Not saying that that's definitely going to happen. It's not likely to happen that they're both so hurt they can't even make the card in July or June, whenever it is. But that's a big factor there. They got to either one of them's got to come out unscathed or decent, not in any type of minor or major injuries. What was it? Okay, so. And then you were talking about Elimination Chamber, and what else did you bring up? Just to get back on.
Alexander Usyk's fighting at the pyramids in Egypt. He's fighting a guy named Rico Verhoeven, Glory kickboxing champion, heavyweight champion. Should be a good fight. I don't know much about Rico, but it's at the pyramids, so it'll be a spectacle.
Yeah. So like, how close? I'm interested to see how close they are to the pyramids. If they're gonna. Yeah, that's interesting, but I mean, it's probably still early to really know about anything with that, right? You haven't heard much, right? Or have you?
No, it just got announced yesterday, maybe today, day before.
It's got the same aura as the when Fight Island first got announced. You're like, dude, this could be awesome. It could be at the fucking an island on the beach. We're gonna see him fight on top of sand, like a canvas on top of a fucking, and everybody's gonna be sitting in the sand or whatever. We all had weird fucking ideas. Same thing with this. Feels very similar. Like, oh yeah, there's gonna be fucking pyramid. They're gonna fight inside of a pyramid or something. You know what I mean? Like, we got all these ideas, but it's like it's probably gonna be kind of gay. Kind of just like you can kind of see the pyramid off to the side on certain camera angles when they're fighting, and it's like still miles away or something. I'm hoping on the 23rd of May.
Outside in the front. Is it really? I didn't know it was that close.
Yeah, I like Usyk, but I haven't really seen many of his fights. But I like every time I see him in interviews and stuff, man, he really is a true martial artist. Even though he's just a boxer, I know some people hate calling people that are just like mostly one form of the mixed martial arts, but he really is a martial artist, man. He's very religious, talks about Jesus and everything a lot. So big respect to him for keeping it less controversial, just keeping it 100, just trying to be himself, not trying to be the guy like Connor and getting into controversy.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
He keeps it in the ring.
and then did you talk about eliminate? You brought up Elimination Chamber
Yeah,
already?
tomorrow night,
Yeah.
dude.
So we just heard Jey Uso got pulled from the Elimination Chamber, and we think possibly the person that they're going to reveal in the box is going to be the one to get the spot, which could be
Either
Danhausen.
in
But
the box.
that would be weird, right? For Danhausen to get that spot.
If it's Danhausen, yeah, it'd be weird as hell. It
Yeah.
wouldn't make much sense.
By the way, look what I
if
put
they're
on
doing
because we were talking
so
about
it,
it. It's my Cartman shirt. Respect my thought tag. A little wrinkled, but we were talking about South Park earlier. Me and TJ.
fuck it.
So you were saying what? Sorry to derail you.
No, you're good. So they've been hyping up the box for the last couple weeks. Excuse me. And I don't think they would hype it up like this to make him the next person in. From what I've seen about leaks and like stuff that's coming out, it's gonna be more of a comedy thing, which is why people are going the Danhausen route. But as of right now, they haven't announced who's replacing him, and I don't know if they're gonna announce it tonight or just wait till tomorrow. Excuse me. I think it could be Seth. We've seen some stuff this past week about how Seth could be good to come back to action soon. They're kind of starting to talk about that comeback. We know the Vision needs the help. Their three bigs are out. Braun Breaker's out, Bronson Reed's out, and well, Seth being the third one. So I wouldn't be surprised if Seth comes back, pops in the Elimination Chamber, and then it's Seth versus Cody or Seth versus Randy or something like that for the last two. Seth gets it and goes to Mania to fight Drew.
So
other than that,
I'm
I have no clue who they could.
I'm out of the loop on the WWE stipulations and stuff. I used to know, I used to be the biggest fucking WWE mark, but more or less when it was WWF days. So the Elimination Chamber, when you win it, it's an automatic fucking spot in WrestleMania for a title.
They've changed it around recently. It used to be for the belt itself, like
That's
the
what I
champion would
thought.
go in and defend against 5 other guys.
Yeah, you had to defend your belt at the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, this year they kind of flip flop on it. Sometimes it's like that. The last couple years, I think, definitely this year, it's just winner gets a shot at whatever belt wasn't chosen from the Rumble. So because Roman chose Punk, the winner of the men's gets the one Drew has, and then the winner of the women gets the one that who is it? I forget who's champion right now. Jade gets Jade at Mania.
Yeah, well, it should be exciting. We'll be watching it as well. Most of the time now, Rampage is saying most of the time now, one is for a shot and one is for the title between the men's and women's chamber. Yeah, so it's hard to keep up. That's why, personally, even to this day, I'm still fucking with AEW more. But that was part of the headlines, like Danhausen is teasing at possibly leaving AEW. And then it almost seems like some shit they're doing is teasing that Danhausen's coming. AEW's been really fun, man. I'm looking forward to the Texas fucking death match between MJF and Hangman. I don't know if everybody's seen that,
Hell
but
yeah.
MJF used the double-sided coin and said, we'll flip a coin. And then that was a pretty funny segment with MJF. And he's like, and if I win, if it's heads, I don't remember if it's heads or tails, but he's like, if it's heads, we just do a one-sided DQ match where I can do whatever I want, and if you even look at a weapon, you get fucking DQ'd. And then right when he was leaving, fucking Hangman was like, hold up, let me see that fucking quarter. And it was a double-sided fucking coin, and he's like, so now Tony Khan was like, because of that, it's for sure a Texas death match. Fucking, so we're gonna see them go fucking insane on a Texas death match. That's pretty crazy for AEW.
Damn straight.
But AEW's been fun, man.
Well, and both those guys have been in those kind of matches in the past too, and they can fucking deliver.
Well,
hell yeah.
The thing is that's the whole drama behind it, is because this is supposed to be like Hangman's specialty. And Hangman, dude, honestly, I'm almost getting goosebumps thinking about it now. My hairs are standing up. I'm not even kidding. Hangman was he delivered on some fucking shit when he was like, what are you gonna do when I get a fucking bunch of broken glass and just drag you through it? He's like, and I'll rip your fucking teeth out with that glass. And he's like, and hopefully I'll rip your fucking tongue out. Like, he was going hard, bro. He wants to kill, man. Yeah. Yeah, I know Danhausen posted his contract is free, but, you know, like for me personally, I like Danhausen as a joke, but I'm not a huge fan of Danhausen as much as like everybody. I don't love the meme of it as much as everybody else, but I still like it. I feel like there's a lot of other people that really love Danhausen.
Yeah.
And before we get into anything else, because that's like basically the headlines, a bunch of random shit happening around the world. Same way with the new R-Truth at the yeah. I'm the same way with R-Truth as well. I like it, but I don't love it. Some of it's really fun though. Same with Danhausen. I get that comparison definitely. So last week's card, we fucking had no faith in Sean, bro. And then he came out, he did the simplest fucking thing. Instead of moving forward constantly, he moved backwards. And it fucking worked. I mean, I know that wasn't what finished it, but that's what kept him in the fucking fight, really. He could have just kept on moving forward, and
Yeah.
Fluffy was, I feel like Fluffy was prepared for that and that only. Because it's what Sean O'Malley. It's what Sean Strickland was doing. He was just moving forward. Even against Pereira, he kind of started to move backwards a little, but not in a good way. This time it was just like, it was a calculated, keeping the distance just right, punishing him as he comes in, true frame trapping type shit. Caught him with that fucking beautiful knee to the midsection, finished him. And now we can be, now people like me and maybe you and other people who are starting to fall off the Strickland train because it's like, you can talk all that shit, but you ain't doing shit. Now you did a little something, but now you're going to get killed by
did a little
Chimaev. Right?
Yeah.
You know? Any
I
other
definitely
fights?
doubted him last
go
week.
ahead. Yeah, you speak on this, and I'm just going to pull up the card real quick.
No, you're good. I definitely doubted him last week, like hardcore. I did not see a route where Sean would win that fight, and that's because I didn't see a route where Sean wouldn't do exactly what we thought he was going to do and just push forward. Well, he proved us wrong, and he proved us wrong hard. And I don't even think that was a bad night for Fluffy. Fluffy looked crisp. He looked good. Sean's wacky defense of just like, he's got his guard, and then when Fluffy's throwing, he just fucking puts his hands out and lets everything deflect off his arms. I don't know. It worked last week, but you're spot on. He's going to get killed against Chimaev. It'll be an easier fight than DDP or anybody else in the division.
Yeah, and I'll just go down some of the results that I personally liked, and then you know, feel free to touch on it in chat. You can too. But obviously, I felt like there was a little bit of heatedness between me and Rampage after it happened, but maybe I was just teasing him too much. But I felt like he got a little heated when I said it, when I was kind of gloating about it. But I still can't. I can't help but be happy for my boy Medish, however you're supposed to pronounce that. And it's not the downfall of Neil that I was happy about. It's that Medic rose rose to the occasion. He did what he needed to do to get himself where he wanted to be. It sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo, but based on his last performance beforehand and what he said post fight, how he's like, put some he didn't really say it like this, but I'm paraphrasing, but he basically was saying, put some respect on my name. I'm always overlooked for these fucking bonuses. He goes, I finished my fucking opponents. What the fuck? And it's like, all right, we're gonna give you big bad motherfucking hands of steel. And if he drops you, you're trash. But if you go to a decision with hands of steel, you still just a guy. You still just a fucking another random. But now he put his name out there. His name's there.
Yeah. It's you can see the trajectory of his career, because his first few fights up until the last like 3 or 4 now, he was definitely on that downward spiral where it was like, oh, he could be something, but he's just falling short every time. But now he's like, it's starting to come back up now. The archway is coming back up, and he's, 4 fights and a cumulative time of under a round and a half, under like 6 or 7 minutes. Excuse me. So, he's on the come up, man. I'd like to see him. We were kind of talking about this afterwards. Top 5, I don't think he gets past many of the top 5, top 8 even. But there's some fun fights in that top 10 that could give him the experience to have a good fight with those top 5 guys. I can't remember off the top now. We were talking Gilbert Burns, but Burns has a fight announced. Yeah, there's a few fights that I think he could take that have like to keep it on the upward scale. But there's also a few fights that could come across his desk where he gets humbled very quickly. I don't know if humbled's the right word, but you know what I mean.
I don't hate that comparison, Rampage. He said Rampage and chat saying fun fighter. I look at him like the role that Favola and others went on. Like, and I look at Favola almost like that. What the fuck was his name? God damn it, it's killing me. Ah, damn. I'll bring it up later. The name I would compare Favola to. I don't hate the comparison, but I wouldn't compare him to that. I think he's got way more potential than Favola. I think that he will. I think he will be competitive in the top 5, top 3. There is stiff competition at 170, but really at the same time, uh, there's a lot of specialists, a lot of guys that can, you know, he's an action guy, not a champion. But every weight class needs it. I also see that, but I think that he could be a problem for a lot of motherfuckers. Put him against Sean Brady, bro. I know Sean Brady's pretty high up there, but that would be the best test for him to really put him in the if we're fast tracking him like he wants to be. Give him a name like Sean Brady, who just took an L from fucking Marlon Moraes. I mean, whatever, Michael Morales.
Michael Morales.
two M&Ms. Yeah, give him somebody high up there like Sean Brady, who just took an L, who's very dangerous pretty much wherever the fight goes, more or less the grappling, but he can still fucking bang. But yeah, I root for that guy. That's one of my prospects or rising prospects that I really root for. Speaking of prospects, we can't go on without mentioning fucking Dalmatian, aka Costa. Some of y'all knew he was gonna do Ige like that, but I'll be honest, I thought Ige was gonna be more game, bro. He got knocked the fuck out pretty much. I mean, what was it? Says
Decently quick too.
Yeah, the spinning back kick. It wasn't exactly the cleanest type of finish, but it like there was a portion of where Ige felt like he kind of gave up or kind of just turtled up at the end, and then because like some other fighters might have been tougher and tried to stand back up and fight it off, once they got dropped. I mean, shit, who knows how bad he was rattled when he got hit? Do we think Ige is shot? Not necessarily. I never thought Ige was so for sure. I never thought Ige was a world beater. I put him as a decent gatekeeper, and it was a perfect fucking spot for Dalmatian, because that puts him. That just right. Yeah, Ige he's not perfect, but he's a name and he's game. He's always going for the finish and stuff.
He's your standard Max Holloway victim. He was on a decent career path, and then he fought Max, and then the rest is history.
Other than that, it wasn't too many fun fights, mostly kind of decisions. Jocelyn Edwards got a fucking finish. Like Rampage told me, stop sleeping on his girl, Edwards. She got that rear naked choke. The other finish that's worth mentioning, or the only other finish on the card, Jacoby Smith. And I almost didn't bring this up because that's your boy. That's who your hero of the week was, who took an L. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I even said like, yo, it's a cold world out there, bro. The world ain't fair. Even though he just got just finished beating cancer and stuff. You want him to finish. I mean, you want him to do well, but somebody coming back from brain surgery and shit or whatever you want to call that, it's not likely they're gonna be the same type of fighter. And Jacoby Smith is motherfucker.
I want to talk about this fight.
Go ahead. It's all you. You got the floor.
This past week, there's been a lot of people calling out. I think it was Kerry Hatley who was the referee for that fight, saying it's a late stoppage, like Rampage said in chat, saying that he should have stopped it earlier, this and that. Watch the tape. It is not Kerry Hatley's fault that what's his nuts keeps on throwing. Kerry Hatley, so he throws one shot. Kerry Hatley sees he's knocked out. Hatley puts his arm in to try and stop him, and Jacoby gets at least 2 or 3 more hits in there while Kerry Hatley is trying to stop him. The commentary team during that fight was shitting on Kerry Hatley. The internet's been shitting on Kerry Hatley. Well, I'm here to say it's not fucking Kerry Hatley's fault. Jacoby Smith should not have kept throwing after Hatley tried to get him to stop.
Well, I didn't hear nothing about this chatter,
Yeah,
but
people got to stop shitting on him.
I want to play devil's advocate because I always say there are no late stoppages, But let's play that and say, well, you said he put his arm up. Well, Dan Mergolotti, Herb Dean, they would have tackled him if they needed to, bro. They would have fucking tackled him, bro.
That's what Hatley did. Hatley did do
eventually,
that, and then he got
but you said
for it.
no. But then you said that he only put his arm up at first, and then there was late hits. He should have tackled him from the jump.
Yeah,
he should have tackled him from the jump.
I have a feeling anytime Jacoby Smith fights from now on and he gets a finish, that's what's going to happen because
you better pull me off him because I'll kill this man.
Unnecessary shots.
I'll kill this man. I don't care if he just got done beating cancer. He's dead. How you gonna beat cancer just to get killed in the ring?
Jacoby Smith is gonna be someone who like he's gonna climb his way up the rankings pretty quick. Josiah Harrell, I think we'll see him back. I think he will get a win. I think that it's just that fight was a little bit hard for him, a little hard for the debut.
Can I make a dickhead early prediction?
Yeah, go for it.
He's going to be another jobber that's going to be in these setup fights. So he's going to continuously get fights that are going to be heavily stacked against him. But who knows? I hope not.
That, possible.
I hope not. But the thing is he has a great record. You know what I mean? He has a great record, but he didn't do well against Jacoby, so he probably wouldn't do well against a lot of other guys in the UFC currently. Because that was his debut in the UFC. Remember, we found that out too. We were like, "Oh fuck, that wasn't his. That was his debut." But
yeah. But anybody Jacoby's fought has looked like shit so far. Granted, if you look at the names, it's nobody that we'd immediately recognize like that. But everybody he's fought, he's made look like easy work.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially my boy Christian.
Now, we got Hero of the Week and Asshole of the Week coming up. But one last thing I have to touch on. I don't even know when this fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre fight's happening. You know what I'm talking about. Between MJF and of course my lighter is dead. But who do you got winning? Because the thing is if Hangman Page loses, he can never fight for the world title in AEW again. So do you think Hangman gets the world title with this Texas death match? But MJF has stopped other people from being able to fight for the world title. I forget who, but he even mentioned it on the segment.
It's a hard one because Hangman's not young. MJF has his whole. So what's the stipulation if Hangman wins? Is there anything there?
No, Hangman just gets the title.
Gets the belt? Okay, then yeah, I could see Hangman probably going on one last run.
Well, Cody. Oh yeah, it was Cody. Yeah, okay, it was Cody, and he's a Texas Deathmatch casual, bitch. I just fuck up words. Anyway,
I kind of like Texas Chainsaw match.
But yeah, here's the thing. That seems like the obvious choice, that it would be Hangman. The thing I love about AEW is you fucking never know where they're gonna go, bro. Remember when Kyle Fletcher beat Ciampa like right after he got the title? Nobody expected that. And it's like maybe it's Hangman's time to hang it up for the world title, and he can go back to doing trios titles and stuff like that. He can focus on other stuff. It's a sad day they did that match, so you can't confuse them. Yeah. So, do you want to go first on Hero or should I? Oh, you can keep talking about this too.
Just my final input was I hope MJF takes it. I've never really cared for Hangman like that, and I like MJF. So to me, it's an obvious who I want to win.
We'll have to go back and watch Jeff Hardy and Jeff Jarrett do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre championship match. That sounds awesome. But it also sounds like because it's so ridiculous, it might be actually kind of shit and cringe. But that's just off of like me guessing. I have no, we haven't heard about it much, so it probably didn't go over too well. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre match. So
Yeah.
did you want to go first on Hero, or should I, or you can go asshole if you want first, whatever.
You go hero first because I think if I remember we agree, and then I'll go a-hole first because I got a fun one.
All right. Well, for those of you not in the fucking know that's been living under a rock, one of the female fighters withdrew kind of last minute. I believe it was on 3 days' notice. This new chick, and she's Mexican. She's 7-0, and I believe you pronounce her name Regina Tarín. Now I would have called her Regina. Regina Tarín or something, but it's Regina Tarín. I got to look at it to say it, yo. I'm looking at the, what do you call that? The phonetics or whatever. But she's 21 years old. She's got an undefeated record, 7-0. She's doing her UFC debut on 3 days' notice. She was already scheduled to fight a fucking Muay Thai fight. She canceled that to take this. And the biggest note is she had done a WWE tryout. They accepted her, and she ended up taking this fight over top of WWE. I think that's a smart move. I think that she can always try out for WWE again after this contract expires. She could make herself in a very good position to make a lot more money in WWE later on if she makes a good fucking run in UFC. She don't even have to get the title. Just a couple of good dubs and then just right off in the sunset in the WWE scene. This
Yep.
girl's, not only is this girl fucking got balls and she's tight with that, but she's also not fucking bad to look at. She's got a fat little booty on her, bro. She's gonna be she at the very least, she's already got hella hype behind her name. You agree? She's the hero of the week for this card.
I do agree she's the hero of the week.
That don't really look
She's
exactly
saving the
like her,
card.
but it's supposed to be her.
No, but the booty does. Yeah, I mean she's not saving the card by any means of the word, but she's coming in. She's someone who people are talking about. All I've seen all day all over my feed is just videos and clips of her weighing in or her past fights or just something. Even the community who aren't really following her fights like that are talking about her. So if she comes in and she wins on 3 days' notice, expect her to be a big star. Expect her to kind of take Eileen Perez's spot as that like nice to look at, not necessarily OnlyFans girl, but like that nice to look at. She's gonna come in, kick ass, and be pretty well doing it kind of fighter. Not to mention, like you said, 7-0. She's fought in Budo, she's fought in Combat Global, which are two very big promotions for like Latin America. I think she's only got one or two decisions. One decision. She's got 2 subs and 4 KOs. So she's a finish machine as well. Most finishes coming in the first round too, which is fun. Her versus Jocelyn Edwards is something we could get in the future. That'd be a first round fucking fight, dude.
Yeah, well, just to touch on something random you spoke on, you said she could be the new Eileen Perez. I know I'm not like Mr. fucking GQ handsome guy right here, but I just want to say Eileen Perez or whatever, however you pronounce her name, she's fucking haggard in the face, bro. She's absolutely ugly as shit to me. And I know we all have opinions, but I think she's ugly as hell. I just like her attitude where she's kind of slutty, does fucking twerking. But overall, I think her face is fucking nasty, bro. I would not be proud to take that home to mama. My mom would be like, really? You took this home? You know?
Hey, you said it. We all got preferences because I disagree hard, but we don't gotta go too big into it.
Yeah, to me, she's
I love my girlfriend.
100%.
I'm loyal.
To me, she's 100% butterface. Everything looked good, butterface. You know? And the fact that she's slutty or whatever, however you want to describe that, she's promiscuous. She likes to twerk after she wins. She does OnlyFans. That adds to her hotness appeal. But for me, her facial wise, it's a fucking 0. Like I think Chris Cyborg's prettier in the face than Aline, and I'm not even kidding. Wholeheartedly, I think that
I think
Eileen
you
is
gotta.
ugly as shit, bro.
I think you must not have seen Eileen in a while, because that's a crazy take. That is a crazy take. Somebody clip
I would
that.
be
You gotta post that shit. Rampage, clip that.
I would be more proud to take home Cyborg than Eileen. I'm wholeheartedly, dog. Wholeheartedly.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
I would be
Yeah,
more
for
willing to
real. For real.
I'd be more willing to take home Jeff Molina to my mama than fucking Eileen. But look at this pretty boy.
That's what Dan Hooker did.
So
That's funny
okay,
as hell.
let's touch on that real quick before we move on. Hooker, supposedly his father, we talked about this, and I've been seeing other people. That was not AI generated, I guess, because it seems to be shared more. It still could be, but it's seeming more real that his stepfather, I mean, whatever he is, father-in-law,
Father-in-law.
yeah, is coming for his neck about all this. It's just like really weird too, because it's not, it's like, he's mad about the guy, but like he forgets that it was leaked through somebody else that he was openly cheating with as well. And it's like, I don't know, everything about that's weird and ugly. It's like,
Yeah.
even
I
though,
mean, I said my take last week.
yeah, even though it's all weird, we're just like, we hope it works out for fucking homie, because that's all a weird situation. Who's your asshole,
Yeah.
bro? You say you want to go first?
Re-say what I said last week.
Oh yeah, tell us.
Yeah, I can go first for sure.
No, but tell us what
Uh,
you said last week. That's a good point. Some people weren't here.
Yeah. So if it's true, who gives a fuck? That's Dan Hooker's personal life. Whatever he does with his willy is what he does with his willy. It's none of
Yeah.
our business. If it's fake, then it's just some bullshit girl that some chick made up for a few views and her 15 minutes of fame. I guarantee you ask any fan who heard that, ask what that chick's name is, nobody could tell you. Nobody knows who she is. She tried, she failed. If it's fake, fuck her. If it's not, still fuck her, because why put that out there like that?
Yeah, and it ain't
That's
like
my take on it.
It ain't like Hooker is out there acting like some kind of tough guy that hates gay people or anything. So it ain't like it would be out of the fucking. It's fucking 2026.
Yeah.
None of that shit shocks us anymore. He's probably a gay guy as well as he likes his strippers. Maybe who, for all we know, the stripper was the one that said like, let's get a third in here, and he's like, I want another man, and he's like, well, I want another woman, so she's like, let's settle for a lady boy. You know, there's a million ways it could have happened. He could have just loved men and all the time. Yeah. Who's your asshole, bro? I need to know. I don't know. We kind of discussed this before sometimes, but I can't remember if you told me.
Yeah, so my asshole this week is kind of like, it's a two-way asshole. It comes out both ends. Think fucking Human Centipede, I guess. But the whole Dana White, Zuffa boxing, and like the Conor Benn controversy, and I'm not talking about it from the boxing side of things, about Eddie Hearn and Conor Benn being a former Eddie guy, whatever, fuck that. It's more about Conor Benn is getting $15 million to fight when people like Sean O'Malley, when people like Marab, people like Hamza, people like, I was going to say John Jones, but I'm sure John's made that much before. People like Ngannou. Got paid $800,000 to fight Ciryl Gane.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was just going to correct you. Like, probably not on a signed contract, but maybe after the fact with pay-per-view points. Jones has made hella more money, but maybe not as like the initial contract. Who knows? Because we know that he has had contracts for like 40 million or something before, something weird like that.
Yeah. But not for one fight deals, though. That's where the big thing's coming from. Conor Benn has to do one fight, and he gets $15 million.
And he's debuting.
One fight.
But see,
and he's debuting.
I will say that, weirdly enough, Jay Jeezer was the one that kind of put me onto this thought process, and I was like, yeah, you're 100% right. With Carl Benn, he has a name in boxing. So Jay Jeezer didn't say it like this, but he kind of put me onto this. But he already has a name. So not only are they paying for his skills, they're paying for the name to help Zuffa Boxing get more of a name. Because now people are saying, what's Zuffa Boxing? Carl Ben just signed to them. So he's bringing his own fucking huge fans, his fan base. So they're not only just paying him for his skills to come and entertain people for the day, they're paying him to bring his fan base. That's a big
Sure.
factor. If Sean O'Malley did the same thing, moved over, they would probably pay him more because he has a fan base.
Sure, but okay, I'll ask you this question then. Who do you think has a bigger name? Francis Ngannou, or sorry, no, we won't go Francis because you could make an argument there. Let's say John Jones. John Jones or Conor. I didn't know who Conor Ben was until he signed. And I feel like most people are going to be like that. But you go and ask anybody who John Jones is, they at least have heard of the guy, good or bad. Or someone like Sean O'Malley. My girlfriend knows who Sean O'Malley is. And that's not because I showed her. It's just because she's seen him online. If I said the name Conor Ben, she'd look at me like I had two heads.
Yeah, but she's also your girlfriend, and we're also MMA guys who are MMA and pro wrestling guys who are stuck in that world. But it seems like the money's still very there for boxing, so that's why it's like that as well. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like maybe just because it is boxing and boxing is known to make more money, that technically it's still maybe it is making more money in UFC. We just are more entertained by UFC.
It's also been confirmed that which is why I'm not putting it all on Dana. It's been confirmed that Turkey is the one paying out the whole purse. So like that's just chump change to him. He's willing to pay more if he had to.
Yeah.
It's just Dana is the one that's been doing the talking.
Shout out to Sky High
there's
Josh.
layers to it.
Popping in with some emotes. Appreciate you, homie.
Hell yeah.
See, I didn't know Conor Ben at all. I still don't know Conor Ben. I don't give a fuck who he is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 100% not a boxing fan. I like watching the spectacle fights for boxing. But if you was to tell me, oh, it's a prospect versus a prospect, and I'll watch it for the fun violence of it, but I don't give one fuck who makes it, who doesn't. I just want to see fun fights. I don't care about no ranking. I don't even believe in it. I already know it's corrupt. I know it's corrupt as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about boxing from an MMA and pro wrestling fan standpoint, and I'm sure hella of you motherfuckers can agree, yes, boxing is cool, it's violent, but it's boring as fuck. They only have one tool, really. I mean, I understand the art of boxing. There's lots of things. There's footwork, there's head movement, there's conditioning, just technique in general. There's lots of things about boxing, but all those same things are in MMA, but way more different tools and risks. Like there's way more opportunity. It's like if there was more involved in boxing, it just feels too safe, And I know that's crazy to say, but it's like they can, and it's safe in the sense that they can keep on taking that punishment. That's why I like bare knuckle over regular boxing, because just like in MMA, it's you're more likely to have a finish, and if somebody does get hurt, it's more likely you're done. The fact that the pattern's there, I don't know, that the guys who just keep getting up, this and that and the other, not getting knocked down so bad. But I always think like, I wish they could kick his leg, or I wish he would just take him down real quick when I watch boxing. I personally have those thoughts in my head a lot when I'm watching a match.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we usually watch boxing, it's usually these either bullshit big fights, Jake Paul versus whoever, or it's like Darren Till's fighting a YouTuber, or it's, it's some shit like that. None of us, well, we will turn it on, but nobody's really like keeping track of the next time the middleweight belt's going to be on the line, or the next time one of the 12 heavyweight belts will be on the line.
Yeah. I know people that do, but I just don't. And I have no interest.
Yeah, it's not my thing. I describe it, and I apologize to Josh and Thor if he's in the chat, but boxing is like the British people of combat sports. They're stuck up. They think they're better than everybody else. They're going to talk their shit, but they're going to stay in their little lane. They won't come over, and you got to come to us if you want to fight. They're not fun. They're not fun people. And it's funny because it's kind of being shown with the whole, now we can get into Dana and Eddie Hearn thing. We were talking about earlier, Frank Warren's suing Dana and all them because of the Tyson Fury fight. Eddie Hearn's, talking all in the media about it.
Hey, yo. What is that? $40.
WWE
Hell yeah.
2K26
It says
pre-order.
Hell yeah.
anonymous. I assume it's Rampage, but whoever that was from, thank you very much. Looks like we hit the goal probably.
Let's go.
We're
We
gonna be
getting
getting WWE
CCTV on
26.
2K26.
Dude,
Yes,
that
sir.
scared the piss out of me, dog.
Yeah, bro. I don't know if it came through, but I definitely jumped. Like my legs jumped. Moved the laptop.
You clip that shit. Let's see if it's too late. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, that was so loud compared to your volume of your voice in my ear personally that it scared the shit out of me.
No, that's good, dude. Hell yeah.
Money,
That's a
money,
good way to be
money.
scared right there.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It looks like we are definitely gonna have fun right away. I'm gonna have to purchase that shit tonight with my PayPal account.
Hell yeah.
Shit, to get us back on track,
Can't
fuck
remember
boxing
exactly
real
what I was
quick.
saying.
Yeah, fuck the
Yeah.
boxing shit. Let me move on. Let me tell you who my asshole of the week is, all right? And this is gonna get us right
Let's
into
hear
the
it.
fucking predictions as well. This is why we spent so long on what the fuck we've been talking about, because the predictions are obvious. And that's why my assholes of the week, other than EA Sports being a fucking asshole every week, it's the UFC matchmakers. This fucking card is goddamn obvious who to set up. This is all setup fights, dog. Every fucking match on the card it's obvious who they want to win. And if you go on Tapology, is what I use. You guys can go on Verdict, you guys can go on Sherdog, you guys can go on anywhere. It's probably if they have predictions set up and they show you the percentages, everyone knows who's supposed to win. Now, underdogs can win. We've seen very small underdogs beat fucking the heavy favorites. Just doesn't happen often, and especially it doesn't happen as often when the fucking people know. Sometimes the betting line's off, but this ain't the betting line. These are predictions based on the fans. You know, I think that's a higher regard than the betting line personally. You got I'll just read some last names or try to. You got Luna as a 98% favorite. Gandera as a 96% favorite. Rodriguez, 91% favorite. Moreno, 86% favorite. Zellhuber, 82% favorite. Quinones, 80% favorite. Tahin, or what was it? How do you say her name again? That sounds wrong.
Tarín.
Tarín, she's even on short notice, 64% favorite. So I mean, even the fight where somebody came in 3 days notice, it's kind of like I don't know if that's a thing, but that might be the other person that's been fucking her opponent who's been scheduled for a fight and been training for a fight. She might be the underdog to pick. You know, out of all
Which
the
is crazy.
out of all the underdogs, I would say the most likely to fucking do something is the chick that was already fucking scheduled to fight, and she's taking on this new chick. Wouldn't say bet the house on it, but I would say that's probably the most likely fucking underdog to do it. No way is Green a fucking live dog. I wouldn't bet Green if you fucking stuck a finger up my ass, and I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. But I wouldn't bet Green ever.
If you look at the careers right now, it kind of does make sense though. So Hoover's coming off of 2 or 3 back-to-back losses. Green's coming off of a dub.
Yeah, but Green has fallen off so bad, and he's literally slower now. You know, that's the issue.
Yo, yeah.
That's the issue is he's missing
100%.
he's missing a step. If in my opinion, he might not feel that way, and maybe his team don't feel that way. But as a fan watching him, it seems like he's significantly slower in recent fights. Like you say, he's coming off a win, but still, man, this Zellhuber is the favorite to win for a reason. He's the younger, fucking faster guy. I think speed is going to be a big factor in this. I don't know, but you know what? Sometimes stylistically, yeah, I get it. I get it. Rampage. He's Michael Johnson beat, man. But you know what? I was on the Johnson train already, so they had my heart rooting for him, and I'm fucking powerful, bro. I'm not rooting for fucking Green, and I still love Green, but I feel like he's past his fucking run. He needs to go. But I said that on Johnson at points of his career. I always said Johnson's kind of a crackhead. He always remind me of one. I would
Yeah.
say Johnson's way more dangerous, and Green's way more elusive style. I know what you mean though. Johnson got better hands, like better power, better speed, but Green got better movement and better slipping and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, identical. Especially even in career wise.
I'm with you on your a-hole though.
Yeah, the matchmaking. This is why we're not excited about this card, and it shows with the numbers. It shows with us. We already knew that it wasn't going to be the best fucking card. And I truly, it's okay. I'm with you on that as well. Zohuber is kind of trash too. That's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So yeah, you got a point. I'll give you that. He could be a live dog, even though I said he isn't. But agree to disagree type shit. Like I'm, and honestly, because I'm one up on you on these Rampage, or the podcast together is one up on you. Because even TJ agreed with me last week with Medic. I'm rooting for fucking Green this week, just so we can be 1-on-1 on these little whatever the fucks.
Just to, I want to add on to your a-hole a little bit there.
Yeah,
We
go
were
ahead.
talking about it before we started the podcast in the smoke session Discord, and it feels like every single fight card, pay-per-views included, this year has been held back because they're saving all of these good, fun fights for the White House,
Yes,
and
exactly.
it's fucking up the entire year. Because Rampage said something that kind of clicked. He said that every year they do like a big spring show, a big summer show, and a big fall show. And there's been no big spring show. I think they were trying to make it either the BMF card or the one in Miami. But still, all of the good fights we would want on there are going to be on the White House card. And that's going to impact the summer because it's in June, which is like this weird middle point period between spring and summer. We're going to get a bunch of bullshit cards in July and August as well. We might finally get back on track in the fall, but at that point, is it too late? Have too many people fallen off because we get back-to-back weeks of fight cards nobody gives a shit about? Like last week and this week in particular. Like,
Yeah,
unless you're Mexican, nobody gives a fuck about this card.
I
For
literally
being
was
real.
about to bring that same shit up, and I'm glad you brought it up. It was like I got distracted with Rampage shit, but just to tell you, Rampage saying he took Justin, so we're 1-1. All right, this is the rubber match, so now I'm gonna win. Johnson's getting the shit beat out. He's getting head kicked. Johnson's getting head kicked tonight. I mean tomorrow night.
Bobby Green. Johnson's been dead.
They're the same person. It's not even Bobby Green anymore. It's King Green. And wasn't it Bobby
Yeah.
King at one point? Like, what the fuck? I'm confused. What is your name, bro? What is your name?
He's forever Bobby to me.
I lost what the fuck I was gonna say.
We were talking about how the last week's cards and this week's cards been shit. We're having too many back-to-back cards where it's just not delivering, no names.
So that's why we need these announcements tonight. And you know what's funny is
Yeah.
I haven't been really smoking my weed when I'm doing these podcasts, and I don't know if you noticed, but I took a couple quick hits when you were talking, and that shit is killing me. It's making everything funnier though, so that's good. Kavanagh is the second for me, my second underdog. Just to kind of say, I don't think he's gonna get past Moreno, but he's my second, like one that is like that underdog might win. Like I said, I'm going with all the fucking favorites on this card. There's no favorite I'm not going with. I think Vera, I like him, but he's kind of falling off, and this new hot prospect he's likely to take it. You know, I'm talking about Cheeto.
Yeah.
What was Martinez? Martinez is likely to take this fight, even though I like Cheeto
Hmm.
Vera a whole lot, bro. I'll be rooting for him, but kind of, yeah, he's kind of just been having a hard way in his career lately.
The only underdog I got for the week, because we're in this, like I said, we're in the same boat. Most of these guys should win. The only one I could see maybe pulling it is Moutinho, Chris Moutinho.
No way.
Um, I think he could, bro. I think he could.
Has he
He's
won a
got
fight
the
in the
chin
UFC?
for it. In the UFC, no, no, he has not.
He is
But when
what?
he went out of the UFC, he was on
I'll
a
let you
5-fight
finish.
finish streak. Um, okay, I'm looking at his topology right now. He lost to Malcolm Wellmaker in his debut back after that getting cut, which is okay, let's be real. It's fucking Malcolm Wellmaker, dude. That guy's
Yeah,
a killer. He's in an up and up. He lost to Sean O'Malley, obviously, and then he lost to a guy named Guido Canetti, who I don't think has fought in the UFC since then, maybe. Yeah. No, he beat Randy Costa and lost to Mario Bautista and got cut. So I get it, but also what the fuck has other dude done to prove that he's for sure gonna beat Moutinho?
well, that's why they're putting him against Matino, because he's exactly the position. That's what Matino is now the new jobber position, to, like, the name of it. The dude that just beat cancer is gonna fall into the Matino category. That's what I was trying to describe earlier. I know you kind of got what I was trying to say, but that's exactly. I
Yeah.
think he's gonna be the guy that they just put against prospects that they want to have a good dub with. Obviously, let me look at this guy. I don't I so knew that fight was gonna be that I didn't even look into the other guy or see if I even recognized him at all.
Quinones is coming off of 2
Oh,
back-to-back losses against
it's Quinn. Okay, yeah, this guy's decent, bro. Yeah, this guy's gonna kill him. It's gonna
you
kill
think
fuck.
okay. We'll see. We'll
Come on,
see.
dude. Are you fucking out of your
I don't know. I
mind?
don't think so. I genuinely going into this, I think that name me one good moment. He got beat up for three rounds against O'Malley and didn't go down. Herb Dean had to step in and fucking make sure he didn't die that night.
I don't hate the guy at all, but I see him for what he is.
Dude, I think this is the UFC saying you've had a hard route in the UFC since you've been here. You fought Sean O'Malley in your debut on short notice. You fought Malcolm Wellmaker, I think, also on short notice. So here's a fun fight for you that you could win and get yourself back in the conversation. That's how I viewed this fight before
How is Mutino's
now.
grappling? That's the only path to victory, is if he can take this. This guy lost by submissions. Quinones.
I ain't putting money on nothing. Not for tomorrow's card. It's not worth it.
In my opinion, the only path to victory is probably if he takes him down and chokes him out or something, which technically could happen because this guy has tapped twice in the UFC already,
Mhm.
but against
His
much
last 2
better
losses
fighters than
are
Mutino. Against much better fighters than Mutino, though. Like, this guy, yeah, he lost to fucking Barcelos. We all know Hani Barcelos is kind of a jiu-jitsu fucking wizard in the UFC. And
Mr. Perfect.
Kyung fucking Kang. I don't remember him, but he rear naked choked him
Young
as
Ho
well.
Kang.
Yeah.
Only reason I remember him is because his nickname is Mr. Perfect.
Oh, okay. Well, he also choked him out. So it's like, and I'm looking at him. I remember this guy's face. He's definitely better than Mutino. This guy Mutino hasn't fought nobody like at all in the UFC that, and then when he has, I mean, he just gets demolished.
Mollywopped, yeah. I don't know. That's why I think tomorrow is the UFC giving him his little. Okay, to be fair, I think that Canetti fight was probably them trying to be like, here, you can have this one. But I think tomorrow's attempt number 2 at it. And if he fails tomorrow, then I got no excuses for him. I'm with you. But I think this is his route back in. A 5 finish streak in a UFC feeder league, getting the belts. That says a lot. I think the UFC have high hopes for the kid, and that's what they're trying to do. But okay, I forgot it was in Mexico. Never mind. He's dead. Even if he wins, he's dead. The cartel will take him out.
Bro, you gotta remember, they're in they're in Mexico, almost at New Mexico. This guy's Mexican that Mutino's going against. They don't want Mutino to win, bro. They don't want to see
No,
him
I totally
win.
forgot. Yeah,
They don't want to see
I
him
still think
win.
it's possible. I still think it's possible. I'm not going to backtrack on it, but no, I'm definitely wrong about why they put the fight together.
This is the guy in the UFC who's a Mexican guy that they want to do well. That's had 2 bad L's. This is a
Yeah.
gimme fight to Quinn Inez.
It is. It is. And I hope Moutinho spoils the party.
Can you do me a
I
favor
hope he
though,
does.
and at least put $1 on Muno or Mutino just in case you're correct?
I'll look at the lines. If it's worth it, I'll even put it on Moutinho by submission
Yeah, just put
just to go along with it.
just put him on for a win. It's just even like whatever you have to spare, the smallest amount you can spare. Just because you said it, and if it happens, you'll be like, I should have did it. I should have bet.
Let me go look at the line real quick.
By the way, there's an LFA card going on right now.
Yeah.
Swayze, welcome in, by the way. Appreciate it. You ain't got to do the lurking thing, but you can always just pop in it. Emotes is enough, but I don't mind you saying lurk. It's just a term that I've never liked. That's why when I do the lurk thing, it says, the homie Tuckleberry Finish chilling in the corner. Let's get it. Actually, it used to say he's lurking off. But somebody I must have got a little cringed about it, like talking too much about jerking off in my own tag things. I find it
I
hilarious
just looked
because
at
I
the
made a
line.
bunch of them for Tony. And if somebody does lurking, it says they're vigorously lurking off. And he gets a lot of people that come in there and do the check-in lurk shit.
I looked at the line. It's a plus 500, so it is kind of worth it to put $5 down. $5 wins $25. And I want to answer Rampage's first because I feel like I know your answer. No, I don't think so. Not like I think the cartel is probably being discussed behind the scenes. I think there may have been some money slung around to say don't do shit to the people coming to our event. But when it comes to the fights themselves, I don't think they're influenced at all. Especially this card, knowing what's going on with the FBI and all that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Other than the FBI being on their ass, you're absolutely a fool to think that there isn't. When they go to Mexico, they have to deal with the cartel. The cartel's
deal
gonna
with
get their
them.
money. They're gonna get their money in some way, even if it's like they probably used to fix a lot of fights in Mexico, like the early fights, just to get a good betting line going and shit. But this card, this with the FBI, the way they've been on the betting lines and stuff, I don't see that being a thing. But
Mm-mm.
you'd be
They're
a
still
fool.
getting their
You'd
money
be a
though.
fool to think if there's not some kind of cartel. There ain't something that the cartel has that they're getting some kind of money out of this UFC entering Mexico.
And that's what I mean. Like I think they're probably getting money, like safety money. Like don't touch our event, don't come close, keep your shit there, that kind of money. But I don't think there's influence going on.
Yeah, yeah. They couldn't do they couldn't fix the fights, so they just heavily stacked them in the Mexicans' favor. It's exactly what it is. They were worried about the FBI being on their fucking dicks, so they just heavily
One
stacked.
Before we move on from the Mexico topic, I just want to put it out there. Every single Mexico card that they've had the last few times they've been out there, some weird wonky shit's gone off. Like the one time with all the shit being thrown in the ring because of the eye poke. I think the last time they were there was a super, super late stoppage. I think it was Dan Ige or Rob Font or somebody like that was fighting a Mexican guy. The crowd was so loud, nobody could hear the bell going off. So they let whoever it was keep getting beat up for an extra like 5 or 6 seconds. There's always some weird shit around these Mexico cards.
Yeah,
I don't think it's intentional. I think it's just the way it is.
I remember the first Mexican card, and Carla Esparza fucking was traumatized from it because on her way out of the cage, they were dumping fucking beers on her from the fucking stands and shit when she was trying to leave. And she's
They
like,
go hard.
she's like, they hate me because I'm American, but I'm also Mexican, and she like felt betrayed by her own heritage people. It's kind of crazy. And they actually said they were never going to be back in Mexico, but they've been back in Mexico plenty of times since then.
Yep.
Who do you think has the best
Chris
stand-up performance?
Moutinho.
You know what's crazy though? If any, since we mentioned that, by the way, the cartel shit, I'll be looking. We all got to look out for it. If any Mexican fighter, especially the ones that were heavy favorites, takes it, they might take a dive tomorrow from some cartel
Hmm.
influence, just so the
It'll be
cartel can
obvious
bank.
if it does happen.
Best standout
Be curious to find.
performance. I think it's gonna be the chick. That's why she's my hero of the week, man. I think she's gonna be the one. Do you think who you got in Aline since we talked about her, who you got? Aline Perez or Macy Chiasson?
I think Eileen Macy's kind of in that. Well, since it just happened, she's in that Dan Ige spot. If Eileen can get past Macy, I think. Well, I know rankings wise, I don't think it lines up, but when it comes to the name, Macy's known. Macy's been around. Eileen's kind of on the come up. I know she's been around for a while, but she's still on that come up. Yeah, I don't
Welcome in,
see it being
Sherry.
finished the same way that. Yeah, exactly. And like Rampage said, she's been looking pretty gnarly.
The way I look at Macy is typically she does well as long as she's the bigger, badder girl. Like she has that weirdness.
Mm.
Like if the girl like kind of outsizes her, she kind of plays a little bit timid. But I'm not sure if that's going to be a factor in this fight because Macy usually will like utilize her size to out grapple her opponents. I don't think that she's going to do that to Perez. I think Perez is game if it goes to the ground.
Oh,
I
very game. She comes from goat shed, dude.
I think Perez is likely to just get a fucking decision win because I think Macy's still going to be going for it. And but who knows? Yeah. So standout performance from that? No, not really.
No,
But
not a chance.
I don't know, man. Maybe Martinez versus Vera. If either one can do a fucking, I could see that being the heaviest striking match of the night, or like the heaviest like dangerous.
100%. 100%. David Martinez, I don't know, just to refresh you, he's out there doing spinning heel kicks, spinning body kicks. He's got weird combinations. He'll throw up a kick close to you. He's fast. He's fun. But that's kind of the same way you can describe Cheeto, you know?
Yeah, typically
So,
very similar.
it's going to be a fun firefight of a fight. I expect it to end early, but I want it to go all 3 rounds. If it does, we legit could get fight of the year contender out of that fight. It's one of my saving graces for the whole card.
The reason why I lean Martinez is because we've seen that Cheeto Vera does have a little bit of quit in him, if you will. He gets frustrated in certain fights and then he'll just kind of accept the L. Who's your favorite
Yeah,
Mexican MMA fighter or combat sports fighter as a whole, all time? Let me think. Mexican fighter, my favorite all time.
I couldn't.
That's a good one. That's a
Rey
good one.
Mysterio.
Yeah. I guess
I guess the one
Moreno.
that I've paid the most attention to, yeah, I was about to say that. The one I've paid the most attention to and would call myself a fan of would be Moreno. Because, like, I don't watch boxing, so I can't say Chavez, I can't say Canelo, because I don't give a fuck about those guys.
I'm rooting against
Moreno's the only
Moreno
one that I really.
tomorrow. By the way,
Same. I want Kavanagh to win.
I don't think he's gonna win. Charles Johnson already beat him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'll take pro wrestling all day. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of fun Mexican style of boxing and translating into MMA. They're known to be pressure fucking hard boxers that just move forward. So they're always a
All
fun
hard.
fight. Yeah, it's always a fun fight, but Moreno's got to be the top one just because he's been the most successful in what we enjoy watching the most.
Mhm. If we're allowed to include wrestling, then it unironically my answer is like Rey Mysterio, because and I don't mean to shit on Mexican fighting. It's just there isn't enough of them for me to pick a name out like just out of my head like that. Besides Moreno or the big boxing names, but I've already shit on boxing. I can't pick a boxer.
Not to be the guy to correct you, and I don't even remember where he was from exactly, but I'm looking it up now. Oh yeah, Ecuador. Technically, he's Ecuadorian, Cheeto Vera, but Hispanic
Mhm.
nonetheless. But yeah, I would also choose Yair over top of Brandon Moreno's style as well. I like him a lot.
Yeah,
I didn't
Yair's
love.
fun. I just wish he
I
fought
don't.
more.
Yeah, I don't love some of the things I've saw about Yair, but all the good stuff is great. But sometimes he gets frustrated and acts like a bitch in the fight. He'll accept a L. And I mean that in during the fight, you can tell that he kind of settles in and just like, oh, I lost this one. I'll just kind of go through the motions until it's over. Um, and stylistically, that wouldn't make sense for Vera, in my opinion. A guy that likes to finish, a guy that is flashy, try to fucking knock you out guy. That you should be looking for that finish until the last bell.
Hmm.
But yeah, I couldn't say there isn't many great Mexican fighters uh that stand out just off. I'm
Yeah,
sure I might remember one or two good ones later. Like you almost want to say people like Tony Ferguson, Cain Velasquez, but they're technically American, just with
they repped
Mexican
it.
heritage. Carla Esparza is
Wait,
a one I mentioned that she says she's Mexican, but she's not.
am I allowed to say Diego
Which one?
Lopez?
Is he Mexican? Where's he from? Isn't he Brazilian?
He he's from Brazil, but he lives and breathes Mexico. Like he reps Mexico.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why it's kind of hard to it really where do we draw the line? Is it Mexican like cuz that's where you say like is every black guy African? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or are they American or is a black guy living in Mexico just Mexican? Or is he African? It's like where do we make that fucking distinction of what they rep? I guess it's how they present
you know
themselves
what?
culturally. Like if a black guy living
Yeah,
in Mexico kind of was more of an African style culturally, we would still call him African. But if he's just straight group born and raised in Mexico, but he's a black dude, he's Mexican. I guess it kind of has to do with how they present themselves or what they choose. It's their choice.
top 3 MMA fighters. I think I have a list based off of chat
I
and
will.
other shit.
I
Number
do
one,
want
Moreno.
to before you go on too
Go ahead.
much. I want to say because Lopez comes out with the fucking Brazilian flag, not the Mexican flag, he doesn't rep it.
Mm,
Can't pick him.
I'll take that. I'll take it. Number 1. Okay, so this will be it then. Number 1, Moreno. Number 2, Alexa Grasso. Number 3, Yair. And the only reason Grasso is above Yair is because
She got the belt.
one, she got the belt, and two, being I kind of enjoyed some of her fights more than like recently anyway. I've enjoyed more of her fights than years, but that's kind of because what I said earlier about Yair not fighting too often. It's hard to when you're active. I can get pumped up and look forward to your fight. When the next time Yair's fight gets announced, I'm just gonna be like, oh shit, Yair's fighting. I'll watch that. I'm not fresh off of that. Oh, he just finished XYZ with a fucking crazy
Yeah,
kick.
yeah.
But that's just the way I look at it.
And I would even argue that if we're talking about what everybody says is traditionally the stereotypical Mexican style, that Alexa Grasso actually is more of a traditional Mexican style than Yair. Just because she's more
Mm-hmm.
boxing based, kind of more like that. Yair still is a rugged motherfucker that moves forward and comes crazy, but he's a little bit more flashy than what we would consider Mexican style and compared
Yeah.
to Grasso. But I'm not a
Yeah.
big fan of Grasso. Fuck Grasso. Fucking bitch. Who she be?
I like Grasso. She's cool.
My girl Valentina, didn't she?
I think so. At
Who
least
she be for
once.
the belt? Who she be for the belt? It was Valentina, right?
Valentina. Yeah.
It's been so long since I don't even remember who all had the title at this point. I remember when Valentina was fucking just beating everybody. One of my favorite knockouts all the time, Valentina Shevchenko against Jessica Ai. I thought she killed her. And so did she, and so did
Yeah.
everybody else in that arena. Jessica Ai was out for like 10 minutes. They didn't even announce who won for like 10 minutes. Oh my God. That was insane, bro. Jessica Ai died. It sounded like a baseball bat hit the side of her fucking head, boy.
Yeah, her Grasso and Valentina are 1-1-1. One draw. Alexa's got one, and then Valentina's got one. But Alexa's coming off a loss against Natalia Silva, so that fight doesn't really make much sense right now.
Yeah, Silva's been on a good run, huh? Didn't she just beat Rose, right?
Mm-hmm. Two former champs.
Where's Natalia from? Brazil? Probably.
Brazil. Yeah.
Yeah, Brazil reigns supreme. Who's your favorite Brazilian fighter of all time?
Diego.
Okay, since you get the two, yeah, mine's Oliveira, but
Yeah.
also,
Really? Of all time?
yeah, at one point, Oliveira was just always my all-time favorite.
Oh, fair. I didn't know you repped him that hard.
Yeah. Anybody that got the most fucking submissions in the UFC is one of my top guys for sure. But I've been liking him since he lost to Felder, really. Probably before that, but even that Elder Felder, I still was behind him. I was like, it's Felder, guys. It's Felder. Everybody can fucking lose to
I had
Felder.
I had two names in my head of who you might pick, and neither of them were Charles. I thought you were gonna say either Anderson Silva or who's the other guy? Moicano. Money Moicano.
You know who was my second pick?
Who's that?
It's literally Glover Teixeira. I'm sorry to disappoint you guys. I guess I'm a different type of fan than you guys expected. I love Glover, man. Even though he's not the best, man. I was so pissed when fucking Jones wrenched his arm. That was such a dirty fucking move. It was he had they were against a cage, and then he just took his arm and just like tried to pull it out of his shoulder out of his socket. I was like,
Holy
who the
shit,
fuck
dude!
does
You know what I
that?
just realized?
What?
So we were talking about Jacoby Smith and Josiah earlier, and what you just said with the Jones thing made something click for me. We could potentially be watching the next Jones come up in Jacoby Smith. Think about it. They're both dirty as shit. They're going to do whatever they can to win, and they've both. Well, Jones has been dominating for way longer, but Jacoby's been dominant in his few fights. Because think about that Christian fight. That Christian fight, he fucking jumps up and slams dude's knee, busts his knee in the first 2.5 minutes of the fight, and then goes on to knock him out. Gets the extra shots in on Josiah. I can't think of anything dirty from the other two fights, but I'm sure there was some dirty shit in there at some point, some dirty elbows or something. We could be watching the next fucking. I don't want to say the next John Jones because it's so early in his career and John Jones has done so much, but like
You see the same type of hunger,
yeah,
or
yeah,
willingness to go where
do what he's got to do.
Yeah. If he was allowed, he'd grab the guy's he would gouge the guy's eyes out.
Type shit.
Yeah, but I'm not on that train yet, but I'll be looking out for it since you mentioned it.
I don't know if I'm fully on that train. It's just like you said, the pattern recognition.
Yeah.
I'll be watching a bit closer next time he fights for sure.
God,
he's still a dirty piece of shit though.
I feel like we went off the kilter just because it's kind of obvious who's going to win or who's supposed to win. Is there any fights or anything that you want to mention, or anything that like maybe even like betting wise, or
I mean,
prelim to watch?
It's kind of like what you said earlier. My prelim to watch is the Matinho fight. Even if Matinho loses, I think that'll be a fun fight. Betting wise, don't put money on this card unless you're in that DraftKings fantasy like Rampage is. I think that's your only shot of winning any money this week, like legitimate money anyway.
Yeah,
most of the underdogs are plus 300 or 400 more, so you can put them on. But in my opinion, the lines and the fights don't line up. They should be way bigger underdogs than what they are.
Can't believe Eric Silva's coming back. I think it was me and Rampage. I can't remember. Somebody was joking with me. We were like, "Oh my god, we thought it was Eric Silva from way back in the day." OGs know about Eric Silva. He had a lot of potential, and then I think it was steroids or something, and then he like jumped ship to Bellator or something like that. You remember Eric Silva?
That. Yeah.
He had a lot of potential, man. It was hype behind his name at one point. But it's not that Eric Silva. But yeah, my prelim to watch is obviously the one with that Regina Tarín. Other than that, mostly who gives a fuck who gives a fuck.
Yeah.
It seems all set up to make the Mexican fighters. Not every fight has a Mexican fighter, but a lot of them do. And anyone that does have a Mexican fighter, it seems kind of set up for the Mexican. You know, what you doing? Smoking on some Elmer's glue?
No,
Show it off real quick. I want to
it's
see what
just
it
a
looks
vape
like.
pod.
But yeah, put your hand on it. Dude, tell me that doesn't look like the same coloration as an Elmer's glue bottle. You got the Elmer's glue
Looks like
edition.
orange.
This is
the
the
next
one I got
part
from
gonna
my
be
mama. He bought this for herself. That's why it's purple.
Is that the views you be using or the refillable one?
Yeah, I don't use any views. That's her that uses the
your
views.
mom does.
She had bought these to try to, because these are cheaper than the views when you just buy the refillable shits. Because them views pods are expensive as shit compared to
They are.
like these. But like, yeah, she bought this one, and so I have another one somewhere, but it's two fucking like over $100 vape battery things, and
Mm.
and it's like she would buy them, and they're like, you know what, I don't like it at all, and I'm like, I'll fucking take it. But yeah, that was cool. I like that Elmer's glue edition. That was cool.
Yeah, it's just like a pod system. So like this top part comes off, and
Yeah.
that's your battery, and then when you just toss this when you're done with it, kind of like the fuses.
Yep.
Is the next part the what ifs? Because I got an idea.
Yeah,
I
we can go.
didn't touch base with you about it because I forgot.
Yeah, we can go anywhere you want. Because, like I said, we kind of got off the kilter because these fights were so fucking fixed or set up that it was like we kind of just went over the card. However, but yeah, we're on
Yeah.
what ifs. Let's talk about some what ifs here.
So I have an idea, and you can tell me what you think live. And just for chat knows, I didn't talk to him about this beforehand. It's just something I
Trash.
thought of while we were actually doing this podcast. Yeah, fuck you.
I'm kidding.
So we can still do the what ifs because I know there's a couple of them out there. But what if we kind of open up and brought it open a little bit? Like, what do you think about kind of situation? We both bring a couple. Like, what do you think about this?
Yeah,
'Cause
anything
I'm not gonna lie,
goes.
I realize anything goes, like an open discussion type shit.
Yeah, open discussion moment. What you got
Hell
for
yeah,
us?
hell yeah. What do you think about? We were talking about, or I want to talk about it earlier, but I saved it. Diego versus Yair, because there's that beef there. Diego's coming off of 2 losses against Volk. Yair wants that belt. Yair versus Diego could be a fun fight to see who, is Yair ready? And is Diego still what we all think Diego is? What I know Diego is, but what y'all think Diego is?
Well, I mean, the only way that fight is interesting is if Cheeto wins this weekend. And if Cheeto was Cheeto a couple years ago, I say he beats Diego, but Diego a couple years ago wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy to
Wait,
say.
no. I'm talking about Yair Rodriguez.
I know. What do you think I'm talking about?
You said Cheeto.
Oh shit. Sorry, Cheeto's fights this weekend, so for some reason I put those two together. Okay, so no, Yair, yo, he beats the
Versus
brakes
Diego.
off of Diego. Sorry,
You're lying. You're lying.
no, I fucked up. I for some reason put Diego and Cheeto together. I mean, the other way around. Different weight classes and everything. Yeah. So Yair, yeah. How's his record been lately, bro? Now you got me fucked
I
up.
haven't looked at them for a minute.
Yeah, I'll look him up real quick.
Either way, because of the beast, I think that fight makes sense regardless. Even if they're both like, yeah, let's see.
Yeah,
Yair just beat Pitbull.
So he's 33. How old's Diego? He's a lot younger, right? He's in his 20s.
Yeah. Let me double check. He's either late 20s or early 30s.
Yeah,
31.
Yair's got a lot of potential, man. But you know what? I'll always remember that Korean zombie fight. Come on now. He just beat Pitbull. Yeah. To be honest,
that's a good fight to make. Yair coming off the dub.
The only factor here is if Yair can keep it standing or not get out, not get grappled, because we know Diego can the grappler in him, and Yair is kind of a not so much a grappler at all, when it comes to these fights.
Mhm.
He'd out grapple most of us, obviously,
I
but
think Diego takes it wherever.
I don't think stand up wise, not even a little bit.
Diego's got crisper striking.
CRISPR
I think he
striking.
does. I think he does. Way crisper striking. Yair throws and hopes to land. Diego throws and knows he's going to.
Yair's got nothing but fast, crispy fucking technique. Show me one time that Yair
I
looks
don't remember
sloppy
like that.
in his striking, bro. Show me one time he looks sloppy, dog.
Every time he throws.
You're out of your
He doesn't.
fucking
Okay,
mind.
no, that's the wrong way to. It's not sloppy. It's not sloppy, but he doesn't throw with like he's not being precise with it. He's just throwing at the head. He's hoping to land. Diego picks his shots. Diego's way better. Diego takes him wherever he wants. The clinch, Diego. Striking, Diego. The ground, Diego. All day.
Nah, man. I think Yair is gonna actually be the guy doing more damage. The only way Diego wins is through a grappling situation. In my opinion, that's what I think is gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Is if Diego wins, it's gonna have to be through grappling. I think that Yair, even in the clinch, he's just more gritty and willing to take the fight. Like, first of all, he went with Zombie and knocked out Zombie. You know what I mean? Like, and it was with a crazy ass
Crazy
elbow,
knockout.
crazy fucking
Mm-hmm.
elbow. They were going fucking insane. You don't think he'll be able to do that to Diego?
Nope.
I like that.
No,
Newer
I'm 100%
bias versus
biased
old
against
school
Diego.
fan.
1,000,000% biased
But
against Diego, but that's because I see it. I can see it happening. I know Diego's going to be champion, and he's going
I,
to run through Yair, and he's going to prove his worth.
that's the funniest thing is we both feel like we agree that there is biases, but at the same time we both feel like we're still in the right. Because to me, it's like it's obvious that Yair will fucking outstrike and even if it does get dirty boxing, if you will, he'll fucking be the grittier, tougher guy, I feel, than Diego. But
Out of your
I could
mind.
see him getting out grappled by Diego for sure. That's the only
Out of
for
your
me.
mind.
Whatever, we'll see. Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope we do. I hope we do. It'll be a good fight regardless.
Let me try to read this. I was trying to read this when you were talking, and I was listening to you, so I couldn't read it correctly. It says, "What if you are the UFC Paramount? What do you do with Ultimate Fighter? Do they technically get the rights to that show, or is it still like?"
Yep.
Oh, okay. Um, I would do. I would go back to. I think they did it once or twice before. I know that there was a whole show that was like a off-brand fucking Ultimate Fighter where they did it, but I would do like team versus team. I would do
Mm-hmm.
like maybe Team City Kickboxing versus Team AKA, or just two random ones or whatever. You know what I mean? And have them. It's just a whole team of people versus a whole team of people. And as long as they have enough people in each weight class, it could be a fun little tournament for each weight class or for whatever weight classes they want to do. Like,
I would like to see them. So there's a couple things I would change. I think one, bring it back to that reality style TV. We need those fun moments in the house. Put the alcohol back. It's weed's legal in Vegas now. Give them some weed. Put the fun back into the show. Um, Two, I think we need to bring back the coaches fighting each other and actually fighting each other at the end of the season. I look at Rampage and Rashad, Chuck Liddell and whoever the fuck he coached against. I can't remember. Bring that shit back. Um,
for
I'm
sure, only
hoping so.
prospects, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too. Bring up the next class. But also, the last time they've done that, they pretty much, well, they did the ones. It doesn't matter. I think because of the ESPN deal, ESPN is like a sports broadcasting company. They wanted to do that. It's a sports show. You're going to watch them train. You're going to watch the fights. You're going to look at the sports side of things. I'm hoping with Paramount, they go back to that reality show route. They have they have reality show all over that. They love the reality shows. Love Island and Jersey Shore's there and all that fun stuff. So bring it back to what it was. Try to get that Spike feeling back into it.
Hmm.
That's my hope. That's what I would do.
Yeah, and I would say that they would have to fight. Like that was a big thing for a lot of us, fight to get in the house and shit. But
I'm
I
with
don't
you
know if
there.
that necessarily works for what they want these days. I don't really know. I've fallen off Ultimate Fighter hard, bro. Um, they did a couple redemption ones with UFC slash ex UFC fighters who had a little run. They're always kind of fun, but I think the prospects is a little bit more exciting because it's people you don't know, you get to know. Um, I just they need heavyweight. They need to
Yeah.
do it for heavyweight. That's what it is. We need heavyweights. So this is a perfect time to do it's heavyweights again. Um, who would you have as coaches right now? Patty versus fucking Hooker.
Patty and Hooker.
That could be a cool one.
Um, if
Have
they
them coach heavyweights. Yeah,
if they want to keep it on that like more sports side of things, then you could do Justin and Max again and run that back. Um, keep the guys like Connor out of it because
yeah.
they make a show about themselves. Rampage is kind of back in the news recently. I wouldn't mind him doing a little season.
Nah, he's
I
dead.
know it's kind of out there, but yeah,
He ain't gonna fight nobody.
no.
And the fact that he has that weird tie with his son that the UFC probably wants nothing to do with that. But yeah, Josh Hockett versus somebody else. Walter Walker. Brazil versus America
Oh, there
could be a
you
thing.
go. Walter versus Johnny, because they got that little beef going on right now.
Not
Ended
big
off
enough.
in a submission match.
Not big enough name.
No, they can't really speak English that well. It wouldn't be good TV.
Yeah. Fucking Ian Gary versus somebody.
Ian Gary versus his wife's boyfriend.
Nah, they're on the same team. He loves his
Yeah.
wife's boyfriend more than his wife loves his boyfriend or whatever. He
Bobby
loves his
Green
wife's
versus.
boyfriend more than he loves his wife.
Well, that's facts. That's just straight up facts. You could do
No, but
Bobby
for
Green
real,
versus Michael Jackson.
we gotta find out who would be the good coaches. Fuck, man, there's not many that would be like
There's
a
not
good
much right
leader,
now.
a good leadership role. Like we used to have people like GSP and stuff that would just be fit perfect. You don't really have those type of martial artists.
Rob
And
Whitaker versus somebody could be good. Whitaker's season was all right when he did it.
who would he go against in the light heavyweight though? Because he moved up to light
Uh,
heavyweight. In case you guys didn't
that's
know, that's been announced.
Are him and Carlos boys? Carlos Olberg?
Why do you always want to put these guys that are basically from the same area together? Have them fight somebody from another area.
All right, we can do that. Him versus.
You're like, who else lives around this guy? That's who he should fight. They're basically next door neighbors. It's better when it's nation versus nation or whatever. You know what I mean? So that way we can say we like one side better than the other. How about a Canadian? Is there a light heavyweight Canadian? Not even.
No, no.
Fuck
We
happened
have
to
Mike
what
Malott.
happened to
We have
Paul or whatever his name was? I almost said Paul Daly. The guy with the mustache. He had a mustache. The bald guy with a mustache. He might not even been Canadian.
No, we have right now. We're pretty stale. We have a couple guys in like outside the top 15, but it's pretty much just Mike Malott, Jasmine, and Power Bar.
Yeah, you guys
Whatever.
haven't had a real good guy since GSP and Rory McDonald, really.
Yeah.
Name one big hot guy that not hot like that, but like big hot prospect type or big guy that's like you guys don't really have many. Oh, you guys have more. You guys need it.
Mike Malott's our biggest guy right now, and he's only big like around here.
And yeah, Kyle Nelson. Yeah, like even Mike Mallet. has had his troubles. He's not even like in the
He
in
lost
the
to Magny on the big stage in Toronto in his hometown. He lost his aura that fight.
yeah. That's so it's like he's no longer. I mean, he could make it there one day into the Rory and GSP status, but he's not even close right now.
Yeah, he's fighting Gilbert Burns in April or April, I think.
That's a fucking fight. Holy shit.
Yeah, main event UFC Winnipeg. They're coming back to Canada, but it's like 14 hours away from me.
And this fight, it's not about Mallet. It's actually about Burns. Does he still want to fucking fight or not? Because he hasn't really been fighting like that, and he's been doing a lot of podcasting and stuff. And it's like, he's already reached his little peak in MMA. I don't see him really doing it. He's a gatekeeper at this point. Does he want to stay gatekeeper? Does he want to, or is he finished? At this point, I think if Mike
Yeah.
Mallet wins, he's kind of going to phase out pretty bad.
It's hard to say because I'm cool with Mike. If this fight happened, if this fight happened 3 years ago when Malott first debuted, Gilbert runs through him, and unfortunately, I still think if Gilbert shows up, even at 80%, he'll probably run through Mike.
How cool are you with Mike?
Pretty cool. Not like I go over to his house or anything like that, but if we're at an event together, we'll link up, say hello.
That's really cool. Before his
Yeah, it's
next
nice.
fight, get him on the podcast.
I can see.
Yeah. Tell him we could say we need the help. We got a little following, but we need help building up. Mike Mallet would be a fucking perfect, like especially if you got that type of pull with him, which I didn't expect that, and I wasn't trying to be a dickhead about it. But if you do, that would be really
you're
cool.
good.
If we pull that off, that would be a good
I
first
can
guest to shoot for.
I can almost guarantee Jasmine. I don't want to get cocky, so this is not me trying to get cocky about it. I can almost guarantee we can get Jasmine. Mike's a little bit harder because he's got a little bit of a head about it.
Yeah.
Let's not post this on our socials because I don't want him to see it.
Post what?
This is clip.
He clipped it?
No, I said let's not post this in case whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm
getting nervous.
Nah, don't worry about it. I'm not calling you out, bro. I was just saying, just keep that in the back of your head, and if the opportunity presents itself to ask, fucking definitely, I will get us ready for it. You know that.
Yeah. I can definitely try.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of Kate, actually, hold on. There is one guy. His name's Julian LeBlanc. He's fighting that card. He's debuting that card. He is our next big hope. We'll talk about it when the week comes. But he's 10-2. He's champion all over Canada, different promotions, and he's a fucking badass.
Tight.
I think he could be the one to bring us back out of the fucking dark ages we've been in.
It says, what if you are MVP MMA? Who are the 3 top talents you're looking for? They can be UFC if it makes sense. Yeah, appreciate that, Rampage, always. Anybody able to support in any way, even just coming here and chatting it up, that's always fucking the greatest. You're able to lurk, chat it up, watch it later. Shout out to all the people that watch the later, don't watch it live. Just real quick, we appreciate you as well. I do like that question. So MVP MMA is basically Jake Paul's promotion that airs on Netflix. The main reason why I'm a little bit more aware of that is because of Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano was announced. And rumored, in case you guys aren't aware, rumored is Royce Gracie versus his same opponent he had in UFC 3. And then another potential rumor is Jens Pulver versus BJ Penn. I think that might be their 3rd fight, but it might be their 4th. I don't even know how many times they fought.
The real fans main event.
If for one, the one I've already said immediately, said this the first time I really seen that they were announcing like legacy style fights. Obviously I want Vitor Belfort in that. Rampage Jackson would be awesome if he's not contracted.
Oh yeah, dude. Let's get Rampage back in there, heavyweight.
Yeah, like
heavyweight.
You talking about UFC with Rampage, but shit, MVP that promotion makes more sense for Rampage in a lot of ways. Who else? Let's think of a
I'd kind of go.
good.
I'd kind of go a different route a little bit. You're thinking like the legacy style. I'd go if they're trying to like build a promotion. Unironically, someone who could be decent and could build himself up better in MVP, Jeff Neal, because he does have fun fights. It's just the talent in UFC might be a bit too much for him right now. He was a big one. Somebody like
But I was also thinking of somebody, and I get that you're saying even in this question it says UFC, but I was thinking of people that weren't contracted under UFC right now. But I get that. I also would say that MVP would be dumb to pursue Jeff Neal. He's
yeah,
he's literally he don't even have a name.
he's old. He's
Respectfully,
also
he
getting old.
respectfully, no one knows who the fuck he is other than hardcore MMA fans.
But that's kind of if you're MVP, isn't that who you want to bring in? Is the
No,
hardcore guys?
you want to bring
No,
it Ronda Rousey, Gina Carano is the lesser one, but people know about Gina because she's been in fucking Star Wars and shit, bro. These are people that are not just just MMA people.
I
BJ
don't know,
Penn and
dude.
Jens
BJ
Pulver
versus
have been on The
Jen.
Ultimate Fighter. They're more than just fighters. They've been talent elsewhere.
Fair enough. No, that's fair.
But
Who else?
well, since it is with Jake Paul's promotion, why not bring anybody that's fought Jake Paul, like maybe Ben Askren, maybe Tyron Woodley.
T. Wood.
And the beauty of the promotion, I don't think it has to be a full MMA card. If Tyron Woodley wants to try boxing again, maybe put him against Askren in a boxing match. And then Tyron can lose to Askren. For some
You know
reason,
what I
Tyron
think?
can't fucking box at all, bro.
No, horrible boxing. You know who it could be a good idea for MVP to do? Acquire the GFL. GFL's been on a pretty shitty run. They built up a decent roster of ex guys. Like people were hyped for the GFL when it was first being talked about, and people believed it. And they're not doing too hot.
I don't know because I've
So
recently heard a research. Like there's rumors that they're gonna be bringing it back. I forgot what I heard about it, but I've heard a couple people say to me in Discord like there's some rumbles about GFL coming back. Might have been Rampage
they've just
himself.
they've assigned new board members. Like I know Tyron Woodley's on the board, but there's still no talks of an event.
Oh, one
I'm at a
person.
point where I'll believe it when I see it with them.
So like a good opponent for Vitor Belfort in that, by the way, would be Anderson Silva, and he would be and I think that both of them would want that rematch. Like, yeah, let's do it
Would you do
again.
that
Fuck
in
it,
the boxing?
whatever they want, because both of them are game no matter what. I guarantee it.
Mm-hmm.
If anything's,
Oh, 100%.
Silva leans more boxing these days, and it seems like so does Vitor, and that probably favors Vitor more than anything, but that's because Vitor got fucking front kick to the face against Silva, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, Silva's still slick enough to where I could see him outboxing Vitor.
Yeah, I think Silva's been on a heater in boxing. He's only really lost to like decently big boxing names.
And just to touch on Tyron, because I like to say this every now and then, because I like to remind the fans like us. I feel like we unintentionally, subconsciously gave Tyron way more credit striking wise, because we all universally hated Koscheck, and when he knocked out Koscheck, we were like, "Oh my god, this guy's striking's amazing!" Like Koscheck's trash, bro. We just hated him so much, and it was so satisfying that ever since then we've put his striking on more of a pedestal than it deserves.
Yeah. And he kind of like he put the any doubt that was left after that was kind of put on hold with the whole Stephen Thompson thing.
Machida as well front kicked Vitor, so I wouldn't mind that rematch as well. But I don't know, man. I think a lot of these guys might not want to meet Vitor in the weight that he's fighting at as well. Because I bet you if he was to do it in boxing, he would want to box at heavyweight, and
Yeah.
he's probably juiced to the gills right now. I remember the one time
I wouldn't doubt it.
we used to joke about how juiced fucking Vitor was, and he used to get like little designs etched in the side of his head. I remember laughing. I was probably very very drunk though, but I remember me and Ricky were watching the fights together, and I'm like, yo, he literally has a fucking syringe etched in the side of his head. That's how fucking much he juices. I was like, it looks like a syringe. I want to say it was like a cross or some kind of religious thing or something. I don't even know. You know
Yeah.
how he's super religious as well. Vitor's one of them Brazilians that cry a lot as well. I don't know if you ever noticed that. There used to be a thing, man. Every Brazilian would cry, come into the fight, cry after the fight. You'd be like, God damn, these emotional Brazilians. You don't see too many of them overly emotional Brazilians anymore.
Well, it's if you think about it, it used to mean more back then. Before the UFC was taking in that big influx, you didn't hear of them coming over to the States, and the American dream was very much alive at that point. It's kind of people are killing it now. Well, it's also not even just killing it. It's just like there's more Brazilians on the UFC roster in the top 15 in the weight classes than there are Americans, which is Brazilians and Russians are the ones that are coming over a lot now.
That's
Back
an
then, if you were
oh,
Brazilian
sorry.
and you got here, you made it. You're good. You're good. That was the end.
Yeah, and reading Rampage's shit saying like, talking about Lawler's chin when he fought against Tyron and shit. But Lawler's another good one who, you know, he retired, but he didn't retire too late, and meaning like he didn't like it didn't seem like he got that damaged. Iron versus fucking
Hmm.
Nick Diaz could be huge names, and it doesn't even mean that they have to go so hard. Like they could fight a nice a fight and not kill each other, and it still could be really good. I know the last time they fought, Nick looked fucking absolutely terrible, but Nick Diaz for the name alone, MVP would be smart in getting them.
He's also cleaned himself up a little bit recently. He went and did the whole rehab thing in Mexico.
Yeah, so Nick Diaz could be a really good fucking name to get for. But like I said, there's GFL. Like if they don't purchase GFL could be grabbing up all these names. I feel like MVP promotions is gonna be more of a every time they get a good fight, they'll put it on, but not like monthly. GFL seems like it's gonna be an
Yeah.
organized like either weekly or monthly promotion. MVP seems like it's like as long as we have a
Super
good
fights almost.
yeah, as long as we have a good headline, we'll put a card on. Like they got Ronda versus Gina, so now we're gonna fill the card to make it
Mhm.
work.
Yeah, just to touch
Oh,
on the GFL thing one more time.
oh, go
I
ahead.
got hope for GFL, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
after everything that happened last year, I don't know. If it works, it's gonna really
J-
fucking work. But
Jake
they gotta figure out their issues.
Jake Paul's Puerto Rican boxer chick. She's supposed to debut MVP MMA. I heard a rumor about that.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind her being in there.
Yeah, so
She's a really good boxer. She's my favorite female boxer.
her against her against Amanda Nunes' wife. I can't remember her first name.
Tisha
No,
Torres.
that's the other chick. Tisha Torres is
Oh,
married to Raquel
Tisha
Pennington.
Pennington. Yeah. Nina.
Nina Nunes. Or Nina Ansaroff or whatever, if you remember her maiden name, if you will. I don't
I
think
got my
she's
lessons
contracted
mixed
with
up.
the UFC at all, and that would be a cool fight to see. Like, because she's connected to the name Nunes, it'd be like, yo, come on,
Mhm.
this bitch is the wife. She trains with one of the women's goat or the women's goat all the time. Um, yeah. What about what's her name? I don't know weight classes for women's, so I don't know what would be a fun fight for that chick. What's her name, by the way, the Puerto Rican chick?
Amanda Serrano.
Oh yeah, Serrano. What about Serrano versus Molly McCann? Molly McCann retired. She could go do the
That'd be a
MVP.
good fight. Yeah, I'm down for that. And McCann's been doing boxing recently, so they could even no, if they do it in the boxing ring, it's gonna be slaughter. But yeah, it's a fun fight. I'm there for it for sure.
they had a heavy spar day. It was like an unofficial fight, and whoever won got got to be the man in the relationship. They're the dad now, and Amanda won, of
Mhm.
course. But I do like that. He said, did she take on the name because she had high ranking in UFC? Nah, but I mean, just looking at him, you can tell who the man in the relationship is, and it's funny to see. Not to get not to get into gay people and stuff, but it's funny when you got like women. Like sometimes it's two women that are regular female looking women. They like women, but then when you got these relationships like Amanda and Nina, in my opinion, it's technically Nina probably isn't so much a lesbian. She's going after a butch lesbian. Amanda
Mhm.
Nunes isn't so butch, but you get it. She's more of a man than a woman in that sense. She
Mhm.
fights like a man, you know, like for real. Like, uh, I just find that interesting. Sometimes it's one way, and most time it's they're going after one that's kind of manlier.
Do you notice that? Actually, no, never mind. I forget what I was gonna say.
You're gonna say that about men?
I
Because
forget.
same thing
I
with
can't
men.
remember.
Sometimes men like a feminine man, and sometimes both men like the big butch man or whatever. It's like they can't decide. Do they like women or men? They don't know.
They
That's why I like.
confused.
That's why I like Cyborg. That's my chick. Any day of the week over top of Perez. I bet you she. I bet you she caters to you more than Perez would too.
Cyborg?
You know the one thing cool that I seen about Perez when I scrolled through her pictures a few times, she be getting
What's
high,
that?
yo. She be pulling out. She be smoking joints. Like I seen a
Yep.
couple pictures where she has a joint in her hand and shit. You be like, okay, this chick's a cool chick. She could hang with the boys.
She's coming out of Goat Shed, so she trains with like Jillian Robertson, that President Awesome guy from Karate Combat.
Oh my
That's
god,
his
she's
gym.
with President Awesome.
Yeah, that's his gym. You'll see him in her corner. He's always in her corner.
I love that
And like
dude.
if any the coaches talk, well, sorry, not the coaches, but he talks a lot of shit like in the corner to the coaches and stuff like that. It's really funny.
Did you know? Well, you probably didn't know, but did you know is a weird setup for this. Anyway, my first introduction to President Awesome was literally only hearing him on podcasts. And I was like, I don't know much about this guy, but I fucking love him, dude. He was so cool on the UFC Unfiltered podcast and a few other probably John Anik and Florian. A few times that I heard him on podcasts before I ever even seen Karate Combat, I already knew I loved that guy. I'm like, this guy's fucking so cool. And and it,
The
and remember when he brought in a couple guys from Karate Combat to UFC, didn't he?
yeah, Eileen's one of them.
She's from Karate Combat.
I believe she had a fight in Karate Combat and then came over and debuted in the UFC after she won.
I did not know
I
that.
You'll have to double check on that. I didn't look into it, but I'm pretty sure she fought in Karate Combat,
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
which is why like he knows people who fight in Karate Combat know that President Awesome has close ties with the UFC, which is why you'll hear all those guys being like, "Dana, this is my time to shine," especially on those shows.
Yep.
Which I think, frankly, I think that probably pisses him off, but not Dana pisses off Awesome. But I don't know. We don't gotta go into that right now.
Yeah.
It's
Um.
I could go all night about that one.
I like the way President Awesome looks at the business of MMA and combat sports. I like that he sees that he's focused on helping his fighters not only get better at fighting but getting their presence out there in social media, getting them known. You know, he's mentoring a lot of these guys to just and it sounds like it's just him being him, you know what I mean? Like they're just being goofballs. They're all just having fun time. They post videos of fun shit. Fucking
Mm-hmm.
awesome team. He's a good leader for an MMA team or just martial arts team, whatever you want to call it. Because I know some of them just do karate combat.
And that's on the personable what he does for the fighters. If you look at the way that their gym trains, it's very different than a lot of the other gyms. A lot of gyms, if we watched that clip of Kamaru and Michael Johnson where it got heated after the bell rung and they were separating it, like, oh, come on guys, calm down, calm down. In Goat Shed, when that happens, they let them go. They fucking form a circle and start watching, and then they'll jump in if it gets too dangerous. But
Yeah.
they train past that point of like, okay, now we're in a fight, and
Yeah.
then they let it embrace them, and they get better that way. Even when they roll in jujitsu, like some of those guys go hard. They post a bunch of clips on their Goat Shed Instagram page. I really recommend checking it out. It's really cool to watch those guys train as hard as they do.
Yeah, I forgot the
It's
name of
they
that
just have
team
that
and shit.
grit.
Yeah, I like that team a lot.
Hmm.
Way
They
better than
have
the
that
fight
grit that a lot
nerds.
of gyms don't have it. I 100%,
Fuck the fight nerds.
100,
um,
especially now.
Speaking of karate combat and stuff, dude, karate combat needs to get their rule set down fucking solid.
Yeah.
And because match to match, we don't know what the fucking real rules are. Are they allowed to hit on the ground? They allowed, this time they're allowed to because this and this and that. It's like they need a stable rule set so the refs can fucking ref the matches and so the fighters can know
Hmm.
what they're allowed and not allowed to do. You know, for sure, it seems like the rules are
Hmm.
way too lax. And if that's the case, then then make sure that people know that it is okay sometimes to bend the rules. I don't know. I'm confused. And like anything goes when they're up against the wall or the slant. But if they're on the ground, you can only punch them with only one knee down or something. Is that how it goes? Is that what it's
Yeah.
supposed to
So
be?
ground and pound, the rule is if both knees are on the ground of the offensive guy, then the ref should immediately stand it up. You shouldn't be able to get damage off. One knee down is okay, and unless they've changed it, you either have 5 seconds to survive or he stops the fight. Like in those 5 seconds, if you can prove yourself that you still want to be in there, then they'll stand you back up before they stop it. Um, the slant is anything goes, but yeah, once you get down on the ground, same rules apply as the ground. The reason it's so confusing though is because so they're big into crypto, like very very big into crypto, and they have this app, the Karate Combat app, and on there, it's kind of like Verdict. You pick fighters and stuff like that, but instead of XP, you get their token, like their crypto token.
Yeah.
And through there, they're always doing different rule votes, and it's all about what the fans vote for. So for a while there was no ground and pound at all, and then they put a vote up in the app, and it was like, should we legalize ground and pound? Well, it was voted yes, and then the fans got to decide, okay, how far are we going to go with it? Can there be guard? Can you fall into someone's guard? Can both knees be down? All this shit was voted on in the app. So
I
it's
don't
kind of
hate
cool
that, but
because
at
they're giving
this,
the fans.
yeah, it's like
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. Maybe it needs to be just more concrete. Maybe
Yeah.
the UFC used to kind of almost put the rules up as like just a text image right before a lot of fights. It was 3 rounds, 5 minutes, and it would say like you can win by KO or TKO or you can win by submission. It would tell you.
Mm.
It would almost have a text screen. They should have that kind of tells each fight what the rules are until they establish them and have them actually fucking enforced. Because that's
That's
another issue is they're not
100%
enforcing
true.
the rules as much as they should be. Because I don't think the refs
Hmm.
understand it.
They don't, because they're getting these MMA refs in there, and like it, they're used to refing MMA fights. Sure, they've done Karate Combat a few times and whatever, but that also goes back to the rules change pretty much every event or every other event. Um, so yeah, it just gets confusing for them. One ref understands it, but three of them don't. And
Yeah.
then maybe even the ref that understands it doesn't fully understand it. He just thinks he has the gist of it. But that's also because Karate Combat's so new; they're still figuring out what they want to work and what can't work. But they're also at that point now. They're what 3 or 4 years in. They got to start solidifying some of that shit, like you said, put it in concrete.
Yeah. And I don't know if there's maybe even I don't is the athletic commission involved with that? Like how do they sanction that? I mean, you might
It's
not know,
involved.
but yeah, and you would think that they would have to have concrete rules with that. So I don't know. It's a little
So the
weird.
thing
It's a little
is
new.
when they present it to the commission, the rules are concrete. It's just not the same rules that they had that last event. They apply for instead of applying for like an MMA event license or a boxing license, it's a special event license, which is why you find them doing it in like Mississippi or Miami a lot. It's because certain states don't have the special event license.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you fall under special event, it's a little bit easier to switch up the rules on the fly because there's only certain categories you have to follow,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it's
Like
mainly
almost like it's like the same as like doing a one contract fight. It's per
yeah
event per event.
with the commission.
Well, I don't know. Do you have any more? Because we've gone for 2 hours, my dude. See, on the
No, I
day,
think
I knew that it was gonna be easy to fucking talk on the day that we don't have nothing to talk about, or that's how we
mhm.
felt. I told you, gonna go easy and smooth. We can
I'm
always,
not gonna lie. For a little bit there, I forgot we're on the podcast.
exactly, exactly that. Let me find somebody to raid real quick, and then we'll raid out, and I'll end.
Is Josh still alive?
We'll find out right now. My guess is he fell asleep, but I'm that guy. He's definitely not live anymore. It's late. It's fucking whatever 5 plus 10 is. It's 15 o'clock over there. Oh, he's live now. He's live now. I'm surprised he. Oh, and I was gonna say I'm surprised he didn't pop in the voice chat. But then again, we're not in that voice chat. I forgot that too. We're gonna raid Josh. Hit him with that
Hell
raid.
yeah.
Appreciate everybody. Swayze, if you're not doing anything, pop in the Discord, bro. It was fun playing Apex. We can get a couple rounds in a few minutes if you want.
Hell yeah. Pop in, Swayze.
Yeah, me and Swayze got baked and fucking was just laughing our asses off. I got the spins after Swayze left. Like for
Damn.
real, like I got sick a little bit. I thought I was about to puke. I got real close to it. Just because I was smoking some. It's hanging out with Swayze, man. Sometimes I'll just fucking get way too baked. Swayze will do that to me. Hey, anyway, we will see you guys next Friday. I didn't even look ahead of time to see what card it is, but we'll tell you how fucking right or wrong we were. Hopefully we ain't gonna tell you something crazy happened with the fucking cartel in Mexico City.
Yeah.
Um, but if you want to pop in the Discord, um, watch with us. We'll be watching that and the fucking Elimination Chamber.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
There's the
Hell
link
yeah.
right there.